you have an idea and it looks really great in your head, but you never know how it's going to translate. But it actually worked out exactly how I envisioned it. So I'm really happy about that, and it's just getting finished. How long is it?
I thought we measured it correctly.
Yes.
Cut off the bottom.
Cut off the bottom.
We'll just hang it?
We're going to hang it, and then
hang
we're
it,
going to
and
trim
then
the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problemo.
Just the water? Is that the idea?
Well, it's supposed to sort of represent like ice and.
So this is the backdrop.
This is the backdrop.
This is going to be in the background of everything.
Goodbye, cruel world. When I was originally approached the script, I thought about it a lot in terms of kind of like an iceberg, and how in the beginning of the show you think you know what's going on, but you're really only seeing like that tiny tip of it.
One may smile and be a villain.
I was the more deceived.
Get thee to
And then as the show progresses, you're kind of diving deeper and deeper and deeper, and you realize that the bulk of what's happening is underwater. The bulk of what's happening, you don't see it from the beginning.
Natural magic and dire property. Unwholesome life you serve. Immediately.
He poisoned through the godhood of the state. His name's Gonzago, the story is sexton, and written in very choice Italian. You shall see anon how the murderer gets the love of Gonzago's wife.
We want to make it sound cold. So there's a lot of sense of trying to make it seem a cold place. But I want the whole show to feel kind of haunted. The king enters! The king enters! Here comes the king. Crowd in the distance. They open the door. Primarily, this is a ghost story. And the one invisible design aspect in theater is sound. So it's a great thing for a ghost. Well, as the ghost is approaching,
But before that, so earlier in that scene, you would have like either a cannon shot or lightning and so on. So the audience is actually getting used to this, and then the ghost appears. You could actually make the audience jump just before the ghost appears. So you actually could play, this is what I'm thinking, you play, because the ghost seems to be tricky. You're never going to get on a theatre like this an authentic ghost look, but if you can make the audience jump, and just before the ghost appears, then you're tricking them.
It's this idea that, I mean, the whole show is kind of haunted by ghosts from the past, haunted by like people's own desires that they don't want to admit to, haunted by things that they want but are afraid to go for. And so the other thing that's really driving the show is the idea of not knowing who you can trust and who to say what to, and that if you say something, you could be overheard, or other people always listening to hear what's happening. So this idea of not really knowing who to trust, a lack of open communication, and so that idea of things being frozen. I really liked the image.
Yeah! That's what we got wrong.
More? I'm standing in a circle.
No, but your feet are lit. Your head needs to be in the circle, not your feet. Yeah, there we go. Now we got ghosts. Kid.
I
All right.
Style for
Cool.
the players that you're
Okay. First thing that's worked so far.
Yes.
Okay, lines, little mouth, big eye.
Yeah.
for what you weigh size.
Oh dear.
Well, that's probably about what you're wearing.
That looks great.
In the audition, Jessica made some comments about my voice.
Did sometimes march. By heaven, I charge thee, speak!
Oh, step between her and her fighting soul.
My character has been murdered. You know, my brother's taken over, and my son is mourning me. But he's very inactive. And so it's the ghost that really pushes him into action and really gets the ball rolling.
As you, Hamlet, remember me.
What we're going to do is tuck it in to the sweater.
I auditioned for Polonius mostly because of age. I believe I am by far the oldest member of the cast.
What do you read, my lord?
Words. Words. Words.
What is the matter?
With who?
Well, depending on how you interpret the character, he could be funny or he could be really, really, really mean.
I will contrive a meeting between him and my daughter.
But once he's decided that the reason Hamlet is mad is because of his unrequited love with Ophelia, he sticks to that idea to the point where he ends up getting killed for it.
Only at that, by way of caution, I must tell you, you do not understand yourself so well as behooves my daughter and your honor.
It's like, it's a lot like this, and then there's...
Well, Ophelia's always been a dream role of mine, I think for many actresses. It's a challenge in our times to play a woman who really has no support and no right.
The expectancy and rose of the fair
With
spring.
Hamlet, it snuck up, seemingly out of nowhere.
I did love you once.
Indeed, my lord, you made me believe so.
It's very overwhelming, but it's also exciting for her. She's so excited, and she falls so deep and so fast in love with him, which is what makes it so heartbreaking for her when it's taken away from her.
You should not have believed me.
I really wasn't even considering Claudius until I went, and she had me do the prayer monologue.
My offense is rank. It smells to heaven.
It was just so intense.
At the limed soul that's struggling to be free once more engaged. Help, angels! Purpose is but this.
Claudius, he's recognized as the villain, one of the more infamous villains. I think villains are always the most interesting to connect to.
Come hither, my dear Hamlet, sit by me.
There are a lot of different ways to play Gertrude because she doesn't have that much text in a way.
You how cheerfully my mother looks. My father would die within this 2 hours.
She's there, but she's not speaking a lot, and so she doesn't actually reveal in the text what her motivations are or what she's thinking about. I think my Gertrude is, in a way, kind of a victim of the situation. Like Claudius, her husband died. Claudius became king. He proposed to her, and she accepted the proposal, and it all happened very fast.
Thou turns mine eyes into my very soul, and there I see such black and great spots as will not leave their
Day, but to live in the rank sweat of an enseamed bed stewed in corruption.
And there is pansies, that's for thoughts.
Documented madness. Most of Laertes is straightforward. In fact, he doesn't have that much, he doesn't speak that much. He even gets tired of the speaking, because everybody in these Shakespeare's plays just goes on and on and on. And even at one point when he's talking to the king is going on and on and on, and Laertes interrupts him and says, what's your point?
Now, out of this.
What out of this, my lord? Some of the same stuff happens. Hamlet's dad gets killed, and he spends the entire play agonizing over whether or not to get revenge, and my dad gets killed by Hamlet, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to kill him. Let's go. And so it's sort of a balance, I think, to Hamlet's character. I thought my wisdom did persuade revenge, it could not move thus.
Everything, theater's always different here because everyone, we have to work so much harder. We have limited resources. We're all very busy. Our schedules are always so strained.
Congratulations, everyone. We made it through. It was a really long day. I'm proud of all of you.
I think in terms of what needs to be done at this point, it's just finalizing, getting everything put backstage, the props, the costumes being hung and organized, the set being painted, the stage being painted, and then getting the actors.
3 months of work needs to come together in these 2 days.
And then getting the actors in here, because the actors will have to change a little blocking, we'll have to change a few things, they're gonna just be some adjustments. So
Like anytime that you can, guys, you need to be as conscious as possible of the fact that there are people over here. I know that it's hard. I know that it means adding a different awareness to like spatially what we've rehearsed. But if you want to be doing this, just turn it into this. It's as simple as that.
I think now it's just a matter of getting the technical in place, but yeah, I'm ready.
Your tech can get messed up and people will forgive it. the lights can go out in the middle of a show and nobody will remember that it happened if the performances were good.
I don't know. It's what you do as an actor. It's the energy. You just get out there and you just put all that energy out. You just sort of push out.
After this week, I'm done. It's you guys. I have to keep my brain functioning for about 5 more days, and then I turn it all over to you.
I think at this point, I just trust in the work you've done. Just do it.